Right, everybody. You're watching Prison Chronicles channel. Something new that we wanted to start here is kind of doing I guess first let me introduce myself. My name is Manuel Medrano. My nickname was Cricket growing up. I received that name in juvenile hall and kept it throughout my pretty much career going through. I went to prison at 17. I had picked up an armed robbery at 17 years old and was sentenced to 6.5 years at that time. Went to the Pinta. Got involved with individuals that were in Arizona, were Mexican Mafia members. I looked up to them. Thought that was the path I wanted to take, and in fact, took that path. Became a member and was a member in good standing for a few years. Ended up suspected of several homicides. Was set up in a FBI sting by another member, where I believe it was 11 of us were taken down. Federal charges, and we can get into more of that, the conclusion and how, where it went from there as we go along here. But that's basically my introduction of myself, who I am, and a little bit of where I come from. Well, I guess where I come from, west side of Phoenix, a little town called Tolleson, Arizona. That's where I was born and raised. In and out, my family was from there. And my parents, we would live out of the town and go there a lot. And so, but the majority of my family is from there. And then juvie hall became my life, basically, after that until prison. So that's my introduction.
I'm Jesus Garcia, better known as Chopper. Just recently been released from federal prison. I did 32 years in the state. Ended up getting out 2018, caught a federal case, and went back to prison after 37 days. From Phoenix, north side, Pico Nuevo. A lot of guys know about Pico Nuevo. One of the first home base 13 gangs in Phoenix, in Arizona. I was convicted of a murder in 1987, January 1st of 87, went to prison. While in prison, I committed another homicide. I went into prison with a reputation, so I really didn't have to prove myself when I went in at 18, back in 87. Right away, I hooked up with guys that I knew from juvenile. They were already made members of the Mexican Mafia, and I knew that was my path. That was destiny for me, becoming a made member. I committed a homicide in 92. That's when I earned my patch. And from there, it was just all about the Mexican Mafia. As the years went by, I realized that I wouldn't say it was a mistake, but it wasn't really something that I was dedicated to anymore. So I left. Now I sit here in front of you guys, hopefully to open your eyes, to share the stories that I have, to enlighten you about gangs, the negative outline of gangs and drugs. I'm here with Cricket, and we got a lot of things we want to put on the table. So hopefully we get through to you guys, and you understand where we come from. That's basically my introduction, and we're going to be around here for a while, and hope we get your attention.
So initially, I started doing videos, and I'm going to continue to do those of, I guess, just kind of things that have gone on in Arizona with the M. And my reasoning for doing that is not to glorify them vatos or any of that. And I understand that a lot of kids, mostly, um, look at that stuff and do glorify it. I remember how I felt about it, but the reason, I guess, what I want people to see in the videos that I put out is almost like in the ending of each one. Uh, every video that I'm putting out, if you see it, they're all gonna have the common theme where at the end it's a bunch of backstabbing, treachery. Um, everybody's for themselves. There's the reasons that you're given as to why to join something like this uh, is all uh, they're lies. It's not true. There's no carnalismo. Um, I'm not going to say that you don't meet individuals that you uh, bond with, and you got love for. But in the end, everybody's for themselves when it comes to that organization as a whole. And uh, so that's kind of what I'm trying to put out there when I do this. I'm not trying to glorify it. I really want to deter people from, if at all, going to Pinta at all, right? I mean, I understand that that's almost impossible. I get it. Knuckleheads are going to be knuckleheads. I was one. You end up going, but then what do you do with that is the next big question. Um, I get it that there's not a lot of rehabilitation in prison. There's not a lot of program, but you don't need that. You don't need an outside source to give you that. You can do that within yourself and and for yourself. You can read all. I mean, degrees and stuff are great to have, but knowledge is better. So, if you got an interest in stuff, you read while you're in there. You do all. You do what you do, and you live your life the way you have to in there. And that's not to say there's brother, you don't got to pick up a pico in the joint if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. It's not the movies here. There's nobody trying to take your manhood. As long as you're a man with the way you conduct yourself. It's all about respect and live your life. Just stay in your lane. Everyone. It's common sense how to treat people. It's the same way on the street. It's no different in there. And you just better yourself and you plan for your future when you get out. You have that still. Um, you get involved in something like this, you're throwing that away. Um, it's rare where uh, this can happen. Chopper, me, some of the way we've gotten away from it. And of course, I mean, these vatos would love to, we have people that do not like us and wish us harm, but that's not something that's in our minds every day. I mean, to be honest, that's probably been since we were kids. When you're joining a gang as a kid, there's people that wish you harm. There's no difference. So all you got to do is live your life in the best way you can. And if you're looking for something, a family, brotherhood, any of that type of stuff, my thing is, I'm just saying, you ain't gonna find it there. Them vatos are for themselves, and even like when I say them vatos, there's none of them that are um, the masters of their own existence either. All of them are going to end up getting put in the same position that we're in. There's nobody running it, not in real world, real life. There's vatos that have, they can, they got a little bit of palanca, and they got the power to say this and say that, and then next week they're on the chopping block.
Yeah, everybody's expendable.
Yeah, it's just the way it is, and it's almost it's sad, man, because a lot of people, a lot of them vatos, and Chop, a lot of carnales, there was some smart individuals that really could have gone far if not for having taken that path. Um, you and I both know Trigger well. Trigger was a real smart dude. Uh, Greyhound was smart. Pablo. So I mean, there's a lot of them that are really smart. And if not for having chose that path, man, these dudes could have built, companies. They could have built something that was really a cause, that really helped the raza, that was really for something.
They only exerted all the energy they had going into being a carnal, into being a real business, legit man. I mean,
Yeah.
they would be, their future would be. I mean, yeah, who would know? But
Yeah. I mean, and even like with yourself, 37 years, brother, or is that what you did?
35 altogether.
35, 35 years.
As a matter of fact, I was just released from BOP today. So um, today I'm on probation now, but I'm fully released from BOP.
Yeah,
That happened today.
they
And
took the bracelet off, right?
yeah, they took my monitor off today. So I'm here. I'm ready to get this going, and it's going to be a challenge, but with you and I have no doubt that we're going to be able to open up eyes. People are going to listen, um, just because of the fact of who we were, the reputations that we had, and that we're now here free outside of prison. We could have been put away. We could have been slammed down for forever.
Yeah,
You know,
back.
but we are the poster child of change. If we could do it, any one of you guys can do it out there. You
And
just gotta,
avoid it. And avoid it. Yeah.
yeah. And before even taking that step, because mostly people are on the fence, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's easy to pull that other foot to the right side.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. The way I think about it, like when I'm looking at it now, bro, like we already did it for you. So listen to us, honestly, like pay attention. That's kind of what I want to do going forward. What you and I were talking about, Chop, with this program, with what we have here. This is our outlet right now. This is the way we can talk to people, and so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna continue with the videos when I can. They're difficult for me because I got a life, man. And, I'm trying hard out here to maintain, and that's what we gotta, that's what I gotta focus on. I got a family, everything. So the videos is tough to sit down and just sit there and make videos all day or talk to a camera all day. But we have decided to set aside a couple days a week, maybe 30, 45 minutes, where we're gonna sit here and talk to each other and hopefully include subscribers as we go forward. Whether that's gonna be um, letting them call in. I'm not sure how we can work that out. Or just if we do it live and on the comments, if they have any questions, if they have any topics they'd like us to speak on, they have anything like that, any comments that they like to, like us to get into, then I think this is the way we can do that. Any youngsters that want to get on here and just say, hey man, why did you do this? I'm feeling like that. I feel like I want to do that, whatever. Then I could tell you, yeah, man, I did that because this, and that. I mean, I think we all know why we do the things we do once we look back in retrospect. So some of that insight can maybe help somebody on top of the fact that knowing that you're going into you're going to be a crash dummy if you go that route. That's what we were. At the end of the day, anyone could talk about the carnales, the bad, the elite, all those words they use. At the end of the day, it's all bullshit, bro. We were just crash dummies in there, had nothing else to do, and just started trying to, you run out of enemies, and you start making enemies of each other when
That's it.
when these are supposed to be your brothers. And so that's the way I look at it. And of course, there's going to be the haters, and we're not going to pay attention to any of that. We're not going to address any of that. We're not here for that. Any negativity, we ask you guys to keep that shit out of here. We're trying our best to do whatever we can the way we know how. And if you guys have any suggestions, bring them. You get chop whatever you thinking about it.
Yeah, one thing I want to make clear is with us, you're gonna get the raw truth. Um, there ain't no bullshitting. I was involved for 18 years. I did 35 years in the joint, state time and fed time. So
Yeah.
we're here to help. We're not here to glorify our past, our reputation that we had. Nothing like that. We want to make it clear that that type of lifestyle, it don't work. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're
And,
gonna end
and
up,
go
you'll lose your family, your friends, your loved ones, everybody.
Yeah.
That's the greatest loss right there. And the people that you believe that is by your side, your carnales, all that they're doing is plotting, trying to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know why we don't learn that lesson from the beginning. When you go to juvie hall and none of the homeboys write you, and your first little girlfriend takes off on you. You know what I mean? And then you think that next time it's going to be different, or I don't know what the hell you start thinking, but it's always the same pattern all the way through. The only one that stands by you and hurts is the jefita, the jefe if you got it, the brothers, the sisters, and what hurts is they even have to move on with their lives, and
Yeah.
you may lose them while you're in there out of selfishness. You're looking for something on the outside that you have right there, and if you don't have it, brother, if we're talking to somebody and somebody's watching this and you don't have a jefita, I mean, everybody has different circumstances, and I get that. There can be someone here that was adopted or that's in, whatever. There's so many circumstances. There's other ways to look for that amor if that's what you're looking for. There's so many other outlets for whatever you're feeling. And, I'm not trying to sit here and get into, the, feelings and all that, but some of us got to be honest with ourselves and say what we were looking for. And I know that in the end, it comes out in violence and in the shit that we did. And it's gotcha. We do nothing but hurt ourselves, hurt our family. And then if these are really the carnales that you say they are, you end up hurting them too. Because in the end, we're all enemies to each other. We're killing each other. You can look at almost every kill that the Mexican mafia in Arizona has done. It's been another Mexican mafia member, or at least someone that was on the road or path to becoming. It's always someone that is part of the bullshit. It's not some enemy out there that's trying to take your stuff. There's not some vato trying to sneak in your cell and take your manhood or stole something from you or hurt your sister. None of that. Look at every kill is another one of us. That's the bottom. That's what it all leads to in the end. And so, I mean, that's kind of what I was, the vision for what we're going to do here is just kind of make this a podcast where we can discuss all these topics and talk about a lot more, have people call in. And I mean, I, like you said, Chop, you finally got your bracelet out, but you've been out for a little bit and you've accomplished a lot. Imagine what you could have accomplished
Yeah.
if you never went that route, you know?
10 months. I did more in 10 months than with my hard work, legit than, you know, my whole life. I'm to me, I feel successful. I got out, I got me a job while I was in a halfway house. I established myself at that job. I got promoted. 5 months down the line, I was put in for home confinement. Got me a place. Now I got my own apartment. I got me a 2016 Jeep. I got a little bit of money in the bank. I have everything that I need for myself. Um, now I just recently picked up another job. Um, I'll be out in the streets helping people on out here where I'm at. So life is a lot better now than I ever had it in my younger days. I just turned 53 yesterday. I feel 35. Yeah, and I'm ready for another 53 years, but on a positive path.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, and yeah, I mean, and me, I mean, I've been out a lot longer than you now, and I feel the same way. I mean, when I got out, man, it felt like sky was the limit. Got a job, got an apartment, all that. Now I bought a house. Um, Still got a job. I started a business. I mean, there's so much, and now, I mean, but since my release, brother, and even since I was in there doing the time that I had to do, uh, I I always wanted to figure out a way to get the message out that path, is just it's a dead end, and people have been saying that forever. We heard it when we were kids, but I just don't think that it's as raw as we're gonna bring it. Um, we used to hear the stories of the carnales in a glorified sense, right? When we hit the pinta, oh, they all this the stuff we used to hear. I want them to hear the outcome of all of that because now we've been here long enough to see the outcome of most of them
yeah.
from the top, down. Uh, I'll mention Big RJ, just in really here just to have a quick topic here. Big RJ, everybody looked up to him. Everybody thought of him as the big bad boss. He should have had it. All this stuff that was around RJ. And in the end, he was green lighted, bro. They wanted to kill him too. Yes, there's people that chose him. There's a whole story there. But in the end, even he had these difficulties of where his life was in danger. And then he died. His son died. I mean, it's just not a life to live. You know what I mean? His son was also a member. As soon as his dad died, then I don't, whether it was an accident or on purpose, he ended up overdosing and dying. And so I just can't, I cannot see that even they had to have regrets in the end. You know what I mean? Like, damn, why did I let my son get involved? Why did I get him? You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's hard to think about it as you're doing it. Everything is going to be in retrospect. You're going to look back at your life and say, I shouldn't have. But now we can voice that, and these gente can hear it, and maybe say, man, they won't say I shouldn't have. They're just going to say, man, I ain't doing what that fool did. I don't want to live. I don't want that to be me at the end of the day, because it is. That's
or any of my family members, my son, my daughter, or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, there's I know there's a lot of different people on YouTube doing videos about gang related stuff, other Mexican mafia videos, but I feel that what they get from us is going to be the raw truth. You know, we we've been there, we've done that.